You understand the Congo people, if you understand the people in the Caribbean, if you like I said, my people is from Guyana, right? And you look at the people outside of that Catholic bull crap, and you go into the teachings of the people, they're practicing African cosmology. He knows Africa. He know that they don't practice Pan-Africanism. He knows that they look down on us and think that they better than us. All the talking points that we're saying today, he knows it. So, Elder, why do you go on these shows now when you, as a Pan-African, when you hear the younger generation saying the things that we're saying, basically everything that you said in the past? Yeah, my people's from Guyana. Africa. He know that they don't practice Pan-Africanism. Yeah, my people's from Guyana.
What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. There's a pro-black dude named George Macon, all right? He's O'Shea Duke Jackson's buddy, all right? They're real close. Now, I'm subscribed to George Macon, right? And he's one of those dudes that go back to Sinetta days. And I keep trying to tell y'all guys, the internet is undefeated, all right? Now, George Macon is a former Pan-African, right, who is disgruntled because he feel like Pan-Africanism is one way. Because he said that all these Africans was telling him that he's not African, right? So because all these Africans told him that he's not African, which, by the way, goes to show you how emotional these people are, because as an African, no African can tell you that you're not African. And no matter what another African says about your Africanness doesn't change you from being African. See, a real Pan-African understands why a continental African would say that you're not African. It's because they're an Afropean, a coon. So no real Pan-African who's in a frame who is serious about Pan-Africanism would allow another African to question their Africanness or change their political affiliation to black unity simply because their feelings was hurt because some ignorant ass Afropean told them that they're not African, right? So this is what I be talking about when I say most of these FBAs, grifters, most of these former Pan-Africans are just Pan-Africans who were too weak for unity, because unity requires strength. It's real easy to separate. That's some easy shit. It's really easy to use your emotions and make decisions based off your emotions instead of based off logic. Because clearly, continental Africans who are susceptible to European propaganda because they watch European TV, and those Europeans who colonized them, the same ones who enslaved us, obviously programmed them. And if you're an intelligent Pan-African, you know that there's going to be continental Africans that are programmed, and it's your job as a Pan-African to reprogram them. But if you're a weak Pan-African, or if you wanted to be a Pan-African but you don't have the strength to be Pan-African, you would allow the ignorance that was programmed into other Africans to affect you personally, right? So many Pan-Africans, or people who wanted to be Pan-African but couldn't measure up, because their feelings was hurt, they decided to become xenophobic and hateful towards other Africans, or overly judgmental of Africans because, like I said, their feelings was hurt, right? And so George Macon, who seemingly is pro-black, but somehow jumped on this FBA bandwagon just like the rest of them, right? The weakest links, by the way, all right? And keep in mind, I'm subscribed to George Macon. He says some shit that's right. And he does shit in his community. I've seen it, right? But nonetheless, he still has jumped on this bandwagon. But here's the thing. Y'all know a lot of these FBAs, foundational black Americans, not foundational black Africans, all right? A lot of these FBAs are not even foundational black Americans. Because George Macon, and your people's from Guyana? I mean, didn't you say you from Guyana? So how are you FBA? Because out of all, definitions, you are not FBA. Okay? You're not FBA. So how you FBA? There are a lot of people calling themselves FBA that are not FBA by their own definition. There are a lot of white people with no profile pictures that call themselves FBA. There are a lot of racially ambiguous people who got made fun of by the black community because they weren't black enough, because they were light skinned, and because they got made fun of, they hold on to black but can't hold on to African, so they're Black Americans or FBA, as if anybody in the real world says Black Americans as an identifier, unless we're contrasting ourselves with white Americans for foreigners who don't understand the difference. And it seems like, and I'm gonna show you, his live stream's a little broke, but you're gonna be able to hear him clearly. It seems like he's adopted the white supremacist talking point of blood and soil. You see, that's a racist neo-Nazi talking point for white people, right, who hate other white people. So they have to attach their lineage to soil. You mean the soil of America that don't belong to black people, it belong to the Native Americans? Because this is their soil that was stolen by them white people who you now have adopted the rhetoric of to attach to your xenophobic hate group contractual group FBA, which is not a lineage, by the way. African American is the lineage because we're from Africa, all right? We're not from America, right? But so George Macon, the guy from Guyana, which is South America, by the way. I got people from Guyana. I know about Guyana. I eat Guyana food. I grew up with Guyana people. Guyana people are cool, right? But George Macon, you are from Guyana. You are from South America. So how are you FBA? How are you camping for FBA? How are you still pro-black, right? When now you're talking shit about a significant portion of black people, right? If there was any remnants of Pan-African in you, you would know that this FBA movement is bullshit. You promoting xenophobic hate because your feelings are still hurt sounds very immature. Because if a black man in his frame would understand that your job as a Pan-African is to deprogram those who are ignorant and to hold tight in unity. You can't unify when you continuously cry and moan and bitch and moan about how people come to America and taking benefits. What benefits? America was built for immigrants. We have this whole statue that says bring your poor, bring your hungry, bring your needy. In New York, you're pretty close to New York. I'm pretty sure you can see it from your window probably. All right, the big ass woman, right? This country is made and it produced all its economic power via immigrants. Do you got a problem with the immigrant that's in the White House right now, George Macon? Do you got a problem with this non-foundational white Americans that's currently running the White House right now? Why is it that so-called pro-black people who are somehow artificially offended by all these black people that were coming over here talking shit, and for some reason they can't seem to produce any of these clips? For all these people complaining about all these Africans, for some reason, they can't produce anything. I see these very same people, they can find clips, all kind of shit, right? This is the internet. It's undefeated, meaning just like I found a video of you admitting that you are from Guyana, your people's from Guyana, you should be able to produce all these tons and tons of Africans talking shit about African Americans. And I just find it ironic that these African Americans who are supposed to be tough, you're supposed to be pro-black. If you tough, you pro-black, you Pan-African, you should be used to being talk shit about yours. You should be used to being talk shit about from your opponents, which are white people. You know those white people that continuously talk shit about us? You know those white people that in every avenue of entertainment and interaction call us the N-word with the hard R? But it doesn't seem like that shit really pisses you guys off so much. You're kind of used to it. You're talking about this administration, corporations, every white billionaire and every white institution that every single day remind us that we are not American, But somehow now you go from Pan-African to be a foundational black American. But you're from people from Guyana, right? Am I wrong? Were you just telling jokes? Because I know, Tariq Nasheed, the guy Tariq should be your enemy, right? The rhetoric you used to speak before Tariq Nasheed started popping off in the ignorant, xenophobic, hateful community, that guy should have been your enemy, but somehow now you caping for him? Is it because O'Shea's caping for him? And you do videos, after O'Shea do a video, you do a video? The same video he do? Are you riding the coattails of somebody else riding another coattail? Because it just don't make sense there, George Macon. Because your people's from Guyana, right? And just in case you forgot that you said your people's from Guyana, you could have been, is that satire? Or were you making that up? Like Tariq Nasheed said he was making everything up. It's all just jokes, right? So are you just joking when you said your people's from Guyana? Is all the shit you used to say when you was on Sinai, when you was on them streets with the rest of the pro-black Pan-African, is all that out the window now because your feelings was hurt because somebody told you wasn't African? As if any African has the power, the ability to tell you that you're not African? You know you're African, right? Because I know I'm African. There's no African that can tell me I'm not African. There's no African that can tell me that Africa's not my birthright. I can give two shits about what an African who's got a European mindset say. That wouldn't change my mind. I get talked shit about all the time by Africans who get mad that I'm saying shit about their countries. I get talked shit about African Americans all day who are Africans who get mad that I talk about their country. Do you know the difference between race and nationality? Because in your video, you say Jamaicans call themselves Jamaicans, Igbos call themselves Igbo. Do you know the difference between race and nationality? Do you have a problem with continental Africans knowing who they are? I mean, if you want to know who you are, you can do your DNA and find out which one of these tribes you belong to, right? You know there's more than one identifier, right? You know America is a nationality. Anybody can be an American, right? That's not attached to your lineage. There's no dirt attached to your lineage. Your DNA is where your lineage. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You African, you African. So I'm just not getting it. Is the level of maturity degrading in the conscious community? Have you become unconscious or something? Or maybe you making a lot of money. Maybe those FBA people come to your channel and you getting them good revenue dollars from YouTube. I mean, I just don't understand there, George Macon. You know, I would have left you alone because I thought you was pro-black, but it don't seem like you pro-black. Your actions right now are xenophobic. Your actions and your rhetoric are lining up with white supremacy. I mean, so I'm just, but ain't your people from Guyana? So yeah, so are you saying that Guyanese people are foundational Black Americans? Because I mean, I do understand that this is a continent, right? So if that's the case, if you, George Macon, if you are, right, a foundational Black American, what you're saying is Dominicans are foundational Black Americans. Even if there are some ignorant Dominicans who cater towards whiteness, because, I mean, if you know anything about Dominican history, you'll know that, you know, Europeans purposely flooded Dominican with a bunch of Germans, right? It messed up the psyche of those Latinos, right? You don't have an empathy for the propaganda that was placed upon the Latino community? You're not going to give them any grace to educate themselves, to realize that they're African, right? Is that the case? You don't have empathy for people who are still in the sunken place? Or did you just jump in the sunken place because it's profitable? I'm just wondering, because right now, you sound like a Dominican that don't want to be Black. Because you don't want to be African. Because Black means African, right? Ain't your people's from Guyana? I'm just checking. I just want to know. And I ain't got no beef with George Macon. But I'm just confused, right? How can a Guyanese person, a person from Guyana, call himself foundational Black American and then shit on your fellow South Americans and Central Americans and Islanders? Why are you shitting on your people? Huh? I'm just trying to figure this shit out. Because none of this shit makes sense. You FBA people don't make sense. And I knew that most of you FBA, just like y'all, like, I knew you was a tether. You are technically a tether. Based off your group that you adopted. George Macon. So I'm just like, what is it? Anyway, that's all I got to say. This Afro think tank, learn something, teach something. I'm out.
Right? So I want to get to this the Dante Kyle situation where he said some very disparaging things about FBA. He came out against FBA. But the thing was, when you guys go back and listen to what he was saying that we should be all inclusive. We should have a window open for everybody. And I'm saying we always been all inclusive. My people's from Guyana. We listen, think of this, y'all. Think of this. We used to argue with Dominicans and so many other groups who said, I know Black, I'm Dominican, or I'm not Black, I'm this. And we would say, yo, yes, you are Black. My people's from Guyana. But to the point where we are Black Americans and our Blackness means something in this country. My people's from Guyana. Our Blackness is connected to the soil of this country. My people's from Guyana. Our Blackness is connected to the fabric of this country. My people's from Guyana. Our Blackness is connected to the ancestral DNA of this country. My people's from Guyana. Right? So our Blackness is different from their Blackness here in America. My people's from Guyana. So you know what? You know Black. Yes, you're right. You're not Black. Because when we allow you to be Black, now you can come here and benefit from the things that were supposed to be for us. My people's from Guyana. While you're not wanting to associate with us. And we were forcing you to associate with us. And I'm saying, no, you're not Black no more. No. Because your Blackness ain't the same as my Blackness. My people's from Guyana. And unfortunately, it took us a while to figure that out. Because we were so, like what Dante Kyle said, that we're not all inclusive. we were so inclusive that we was allowing people to come here and be black that didn't want to be black, that benefit from what we're supposed to benefit from. Yeah, my people's from Guyana. And saying disparaging names to us. So no, we don't have the same blackness. No, you are Mozambique and you're from there, or you are from Mali. That's where you're from, right? No, you're not black. You are Mandingo from Mali. That's your nationality. That's who you are. Yeah, my people's from Guyana. Our blackness is connected to the ancestral DNA of America. Yeah, my people's from Guyana. Yours not. Yours not. I'm not making up nothing, because for too many years they came in and saw that when they didn't identify as black, we cut them off. So what they did was they cosplayed it as black when they didn't identify as black. They identified as Igbo. They identified as Wolof. They identified as God. They identified as all these other groups, Ashanti. That's what they identified as. My people's from Guyana. They didn't identify with us. They only identified with us to ingratiate themselves under us to get the benefits that was there. But at the same time, saying that we didn't have a culture. Yeah, my people's from Guyana. Because they wasn't connected to the ancestral DNA of here. And a lot of them would tell us, y'all not African, you American. And we've been like, huh? Yeah, I got you, right? A lot of them would go and say, you guys are not African, you American. Back when I was practicing Pan-Africanism, so many Africans kept telling me, you're not African. I'm like, huh? What do you mean I'm not African? You're not African. Oh, shoot. I had a brother from Benin tell me, you're not African, right? You're not African. So the thing is, right, so we learning. So I'm telling you, don't tell if the Dominicans come in and say they no black. You understand the Congo people? If you understand the people in the Caribbean, if you like I said, my people's from Guyana, right? And you look at the people outside of that Catholic bull crap, and you go into the teachings of the people, they're practicing African cosmology. He knows Africa. He know that they don't practice Pan-Africanism. He knows that they look down on us and think that they better than us. All the talking points that we're saying today, he knows it. So, Elder, why do you go on these shows now when you, as a Pan-African, when you hear the younger generation saying the things that we're saying, basically everything that you said in the past? Yeah, my people's from Guyana.
Ain't nobody trying to argue with you all damn day, bro. Shut the fuck up. Damn.
Free Sudan, boycott diamonds and gold. Free Sudan, boycott diamonds and gold. We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.